Hi guys, OB Dave here. It is the final of Couples Bakeoff this week. Finally. So we're going to rip off completely, like we have done all along, the Great British Bake Off. And the last bake on the Great British Bake Off was the showstopper. So basically, we're doing that. So you've got to have 3 baked elements. It's got to look cool. There's got to be some sort of theme. And I think there's got to be a cake involved somewhere as well. So I'm going to do a chocolate sponge cake for the base. I'm going to cover it in green icing for grass. I don't know if you can see where I'm going with this on World Cup week. Then gingerbread men, football players, and then profiterole footballs. And I'm going to try and make it look as good as possible. And yeah, hopefully win. Because, you know, it'd be great. Yeah, so enjoy. I've pre-measured loads of the stuff. So because there's so many elements to this, I'm trying to keep it snappy. So yeah. Stay with me. Right then, first thing I have to do, heat the oven to gas mark 5 or 170 degrees with a fan. Butter the base and 2 sides of a 20 centimetre round sandwich tin and line the bases with, what? I've not got 2 sandwich tins. I'm just going to have to use the, fuck's sake. Right then, in typical me fashion, I don't have some of the right stuff, but it's just got to do. It says, butter the base and sides of 2 20 centimetre round sandwich tins and line the bases with baking parchment. So I'm buttering, why am I buttering the base and putting baking parchment in there? That seems a little bit odd. Right, base of tin has parchment. Put it back in its thing and then clip it closed. There we go. And then I'm going to butter the sides. Right, so instead of using 2 tins, much like the Victoria sponge, I'm just using one. One of my lights has just died. That's great timing. I'm just going to use one and put the mix in and then cut it in half and put the icing or whatever it is in the middle. So, right, in a large bowl, beat together 200 grams of golden caster sugar, 200 grams of softened unsalted butter, 4 large eggs, 200 grams of salt. So, I'll put the dry ingredients in first. I remember Ash saying that. So, we will sieve the flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, then I'm going to put 4 eggs in, pinch of salt, in fact I'll put the pinch of salt in now. That's pinch. So we'll get that nicely mixed in. We'll go butter. Turns out the butter wasn't quite as soft as I thought. I may have to go hands. 2 tablespoons of milk. One. 2, half a tablespoon vanilla extract, half a teaspoon, sorry, 4 large eggs, right, it seems that all this gets mixed together. It's supposed to be divided up between 2 tins. It's just going to go in one. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to whisk the shit out of it. So I'll probably stop the camera in a minute because it's probably going to take me ages. Right, okay, I'm done there. Get my cake tin. That's looking good to me. Let's get it in the oven 20 minutes and I'll have a quick tidy and start the gingerbread man. Let's do it. Right then, it's time to start working on the gingerbread men. So, I've got to first off start by heating the butter, syrup and sugar together in a small pan. So I've already measured this. 100 grams of dark muscovado sugar, 100 grams of salted butter, 3 tablespoons of golden syrup. I'm going to use this for the golden syrup because I'm not sure how long that's been open for. It tastes alright, but I want this to be good. So I'll use the bottle stuff that we use for pancakes. There's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go and heat this up. So I'm not going to bore you with that. I'll go and do it and then I'll come back. But then, in fact, before I heat it up, I'm going to put the dry ingredients in here. 225 grams of plain flour. Tablespoon of ground ginger in there. 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Love the smell of cinnamon. Half a teaspoon of bicarb. We will get this thing on the heat and then I'll mix this up and then we'll be back. Right then, my other ingredients are melted. Pour the buttery syrup mixture and stir to combine. Then use your hands to bring together and form a dough. A tablespoon of milk to combine if needed. I think we could do with a tiny bit more wet ingredient in there, so. Right, this is coming together nicely now. Put the dough on a sheet of baking parchment, shape into a rectangle, and lay another sheet of parchment on top of it. Roll the dough out to the thickness of about ½ centimetre. And give it a roll. Cake is looking good. I still think a couple more minutes are needed. Put the dough on a sheet of baking parchment, shape into a rectangle, lay another sheet of parchment, place it in the fridge for an hour. Right then. Right, in the meantime, let's make this sauce for the chocolate. Put 100 grams of chopped milk chocolate in a heat-proof bowl and melt it in the microwave. It's just going to have to be over a pan. Leave it to cool for 5 minutes. Then mash 200 grams of softened butter and 400 grams of icing sugar. Right then, the cake is still in the oven. So, I've not got a microwave to do the chocolate. So I've got a pan with boiling water and a bowl. So it's 100 grams of milk chocolate. In here, I'm going to go melt it. Then I'll let it cool for 5 minutes. Then 200 grams of softened butter gets mixed in. Right then, it's all happening at once. I have sped up softening some butter a little bit in a pan over some water, just because that needs to be mashed into the icing sugar and then that mixed in. But while I was doing all that, my cake is ready. So let's go back to the cake. Leave to cool in the tin for 10 minutes and then turn out onto a wire rack. What do you reckon? I'm pretty happy with that. So we will leave that for 10 minutes. I need to mix in my butter with the icing sugar. Mash 200 grams of softened butter and 400 grams of icing sugar together with a fork. Switch to a wooden spoon if you have it. So I'm going to have to get proper stuck in here. And maybe here for a while. If I am, I'll do a little fast forward. I'm not going to add water this time. I got in trouble with Ash when I did that on the Victoria sponge. Right, that's pretty well mixed in. Next step. Sift in 5 tablespoons of cocoa powder with a pinch of salt and then pour in the melted chocolate and 2 tablespoons of milk. So I need 5 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I'm not going to put salt because it was salted butter. 2 tablespoons of milk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 tablespoons of milk, not to be confused with wine. 1, 2. Mix in the melted chocolate and then smooth again. Right, put that to the side. Heat the oven, gas mark 5. Remove the dough from the fridge. Cut out shapes using a cookie cutter. You can choose any shape. Place the shapes spread apart on the lined baking sheet and bake for 10 to 12 minutes. Right, so that's pretty simple. I'm not going to do the icing tonight, I'm going to do that tomorrow because I cannot be bothered. It's late and I'm tired. So yeah, let's take this off and see how it's looking. Looks pretty good. Get these cookie cutters out. There we go. Right, cake is that big. If I go massive gingerbread man, I think that's going to be too much. So I will go medium gingerbread man. Then that way I'll be able to have a team, like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think as long as I can get 6, I'll be all right. So. There's 1.
One eternity later.
Done. There's my 8 gingerbread men. Really, I should have done 11 for a football team, but you know. Right, I've got 10 minutes while these gingerbread men do. I just need to cut this neatly in half. Come through. Yeah. Right, let's get all this buttercream on there. Close it back up. And then the gingerbread man will be done soon. And I can finish my glass of wine while I'm watching Naked and Afraid. Right, that guy needs to go in the fridge. There's a big lump of cake there. Jesus Christ. That's going to go in the fridge. Hopefully the gingerbread men are done. What time are we on? Yeah, that's been 10 minutes. And we'll have a look. Right, I gave the gingerbread men, that's fucking hot. A couple more minutes. They've browned up a tiny bit more. Still a tiny bit soft to the touch. I think that's okay though. I've had gingerbread men before. They're not supposed to be like proper rock hard biscuits. I think they're supposed to have a tiny little bit of doughiness to them. Right then, I am happy with them. I'll get a quick shot with the GoPro just to show what they look like. And then when I get back from work / pub tomorrow, then it is time to do my profiterole footballs and then decorate. Hi guys, Obi Dave here. It is Tuesday night. I should have finished all this off last night, but we went and watched the England game at the pub and didn't get home till late, and it just didn't happen. So I've got to finish it off quickly. Ashley's going to be around soon. All I've got to do, I'm going to do my profiteroles, which I'm not going to film because it's the exact same method that I did last week and it's just going to be a waste of time. But the last thing I'm going to film, well, this little bit now, I'm going to put the icing on the cake. just the profiteroles to do now, and then I'll stack them in the middle with white chocolate all over them, and I'll be done. So like I said, I'm not going to film that. I'll join you again when the profiteroles are done, and yeah, time to decorate them and we'll be all done. So see you soon.
Hi guys, African Ash here. It is our last week of the Couples Bakeoff. As much as I've enjoyed it, I am ready for it to end. So we're doing the showstopper this week, so I've got loads to do, so I'm just gonna get straight into it. So first things first, we need 100 grams of softened butter, 100 grams of caster sugar. I'm gonna beat those together until light fluffy. Right, that is the butter and sugar together. I got it everywhere as I usually do. And then it was 1 egg yolk with 2 teaspoons of water whisked together. Add that in as well. Along with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I've still got the vanilla paste, so I've just gone for that. And then I've got to whisk that together. And then I'm supposed to bring in the flour. It's gonna go everywhere. And then the last bit, the instructions said to just, oh my god, that's so crunchy, to mix with your hands until it comes to like a stiff dough. And then we're supposed to let it rest for 30 minutes. Maybe I need to knead it on the surface. The last bit's down to it. Right, I'm happy with that. I don't want to overwork the dough. It's a nice stiff dough, and it said to wrap it in cling film and chill it in the fridge for about 30 minutes. So my dough is out of the fridge. It's done chilling after 30 minutes. So I'm now going to roll it out and use my little cube cutters. Right, those ones are the first batch to go in the oven. Needs to be 180 degrees Celsius. Okay, loads and loads and loads and loads to do, so I'm just going to get straight into it. So I think the first thing we were going to do is the cake, because the meringue apparently is going to take like an hour to bake. Oh my god, turn off. Thank you. Right, that is my skills out of the way. So let's do this. So heat the oven to 160 degrees. Using tabletop mixer, beat the butter, sugar and vanilla and a teaspoon of salt. So we needed how much vanilla? It was 1 teaspoon of vanilla paste, and it is 250 grams of golden caster sugar. Ooh gosh, that's a lot of vanilla. Well, some salt. I'm just gonna do a pinch because who cares right now, I'm so busy. So blend the butter, sugar, vanilla and salt together. So, and it was a full 250 grams of butter, which should be the full block. Why, when I'm in a rush, does everything go wrong? No! Blend until pale and fluffy, then pour the eggs in one at a time. It's 5 large eggs cracked into a jug and pour them in one at a time. I don't know how that's gonna work. I mean, that's not one at a time, is it? Add 1 tablespoon of the plain flour. So it said to measure out 85 grams of plain flour, but it's saying to add just 1 tablespoon of the flour to the mix if it starts to look slimy rather than fluffy. Let's try that. Oh yeah, that made a huge difference. Okay, and then beat in the yogurt and add the flours. I've not used a big enough bowl. Let's just transfer this all over. Beat in the yogurt, which is 100 grams of full fat Greek yogurt. Right, after adding the yogurt, mix the flour so it's obviously whatever's left of the 85 grams of the plain flour and 250 grams of self-raising flour. Just gonna sift that in. And then using a large metal spoon, fold them into a batter. Well, I don't have a large metal spoon, so it's gonna be a plastic spoon or silicone spatula. Not looking great. Hopefully it bakes well. Spoon the mix into a tin and bake for an hour and 20 minutes until well risen. That is the cake ready. I'm going to drop that in the oven if it's at 160 degrees Celsius, which it is, and leave that for an hour and 20 minutes. Right, let's crack on with the meringue and get that ready because that will get baked straight after the cake. 4 large egg whites into a bowl and beat on a medium speed with an electric whisk. Get that cake batter splatter off of here. About medium. Don't overbeat. When ready, the mixture should be thick and glossy. That's thick and glossy. The next step is to sift 1/3 of 115 grams of icing sugar over the mixture, then gently fold it in using a big metal spoon or a rubber spatula. At least this time they give me an option. It's like, who has all this stuff? Maybe that's a quarter, maybe a little more. Is that a third? Let's say that was a third. So no knocking the air out. I don't know why the recipe specified don't use a plastic bowl to whisk the eggs. Okay, I don't want to overmix that. That looks like a meringue mixture. I'm not gonna lie, I never really liked meringue. I'm not really a sweet tooth. I am gonna just wrap in cling film for now while my cake is baking because they're at completely different temperatures and I don't want to tempt fate. So when I've got about half an hour left on my cake, I will come back, lay them onto into the baking sheet in the shape that I'm hoping for. I'm not going to make it too thick because I don't want it to end up being gooey and runny on the inside. I just want a nice little couple of meringues. So I am going to clean up, make some space, ready for when my cake comes out to cool, and also to make space so I can shape my meringue. Back in a bit. My cake is looking really golden and it's got a nice spring back, but it's still a little bit wet when I pull the skewer out, so I am going to prep my meringues now. The instructions said just to use a spoon and just sort of shape it and then transfer it into the baking sheet. I don't know if I'm doing this right. As long as they come out tasting good. I mean, that looks like a meringue. Still loads of it left, but I think I have enough for... Oh, my GoPro died. GoPro died. I don't know how much of that you saw, but I have shaped kind of meringues ready to go in the oven when my cake has come out and is cooling. In fact, I'm going to check. I've still got loads of meringue left. I don't think I'm going to bake anymore, so I'm probably going to keep it to one side and then take it to Dave's and bake it at Dave's tomorrow night. So yeah, so much meringue. Right, I am batch cooking at the moment anyway, so I'm going to get the cake out. Yeah, that's a nice cake. I'm quite proud of that. I'm going to wait for the tin to cool a little bit, then I'll take it out and put it onto the cooling rack. And then I will let it cool properly, and while it's cooling I'm going to make my icing sugar, which is just buttercream icing, and put it all over, make it decorated, and hopefully by then my meringues will be done. I made the buttercream off camera just because I'm running out of time, but I'm going to add some colouring and try and make it, and then I'm going to cut my cake and start decorating it. So, I don't know if you can see that. Exciting bit! I am going to cut my cake. I am the worst at cutting straight, so I don't know how well I'm going to do this. Let's see. I would die if I opened it at this point and it was raw. Oh, free cake for me. Oh, that looks good. I don't know if it's cooled enough, but I don't have time. I'm running out of time. I should have. Or maybe, oh, it's so good inside. So I am doing a rainbow cake. And I was gonna just push them together, but that's thick. It's real thick. So I just do one and cut it in half and make a second one. I'm just going to pipe that onto the one side of the cake. So now the piping of all the colours. Okay, start with red. I think that's quite cute. I might touch up the red a bit because that is terrible. What is that? I mean, they didn't stick. Sort of. I mean, they're still sticky inside, but they've not stuck. At least they didn't stick to the tray. Oh, what a nightmare. Oh my god, it's crumbling. Oh, these are so bad. Oh, these are so bad. I'm gonna have to... I think leave them to cool. I'm not gonna touch them anymore. At least my cake looks good. That is really chewy. That is not good meringue. Oh my god. That is not. Bake Off, you've been a laugh. Losing my mind here. Okay. I'm just gonna leave them to cool, I guess. And then mount them. And then the cookies were gonna go on the top. So I'd have the unicorn and the butterfly. And these would be my little puffs of cloud. It's not looking that way. Oh, so chewy. See you guys tomorrow.
Hi guys, Obi Dave here.
African Ash.
Together we are Obi Dave and African Ash. Hopefully you know that by now.
I know, so too.
It is the grand finale. When do you use finale versus final? Why does the word even exist? Why do we have both? Does grand final just not sound grandiose enough?
I don't know.
It's the grandiose finale.
Maybe it's to do with like grammatically correct, like a final is the final of it, but a finale is like the adjective.
Don't you start correcting my grammar as well.
I really don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Anyway, yeah, it's the final, and this is our roundup. Before that, though, I think we announced the winner, don't we?
Yeah. So last week, Dave won Soul Baker, and I counted wrong. I've been corrected this evening. So Dave is now in the lead. So tonight will be either resulting in a sudden death or Dave as the complete winner of the Couples Bakeoff, which I mean I'm not going to be upset about. You've done absolutely amazing.
I think based off these here, and I've just taken loads of shots while you weren't here.
All right.
Based off looks alone, which is how people are voting, mostly, I think yours is looking a lot more polished.
Yours is super cute
pretty,
though. I wouldn't say mine was polished. I hid it all with Smarties. When you see the videos edit.
So I went for a chocolate cake with a like a green icing, which is supposed to be a football pitch. Then it's some gingerbread men with some profiteroles with white chocolate, which is supposed to be the footballs. I wanted everything to look better.
Why are there so many footballs on the football field?
Well, I thought if I just put one in the middle, it's going to look stupid, isn't it? That's why it did cross my mind.
It's super cute.
Yeah, we'll see. I had a similar problem than I did with the Victoria sponge, where my tin was just too big and I needed 2 small tins. But I'm all right with it. I'm quite happy with it. I think the cake may be more of a brownie texture a little bit.
I don't mind that. That sounds nice.
We'll see. So what have you done?
I have done a vanilla sponge with just loads of coloured buttercream icing. I've done some sugar cookies shaped into different things. I was kind of going for like a rainbow fantasy kind of theme, so I've got a couple of little unicorns and a butterfly. 2 butterflies broke, I was a bit dead upset, although I got to eat them. And then I've gone for some meringue as the clouds.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sold on the meringues. Yeah.
Well, so we try each individual component and then we'll slice into it and properly try the cake.
Yeah, I think that's great. Should we go for your gingerbread man?
Gingerbread man first. We do have an action camera here as well.
I've just beheaded one. So. It's a gingerbread now. I think you're right, you have caught it a little bit. It's a little overbaked, but it is a nice ginger biscuit either way.
I'd actually go for a tiny bit more ginger.
You think so? I like that flavour, but I'm not big on heavy spices.
You can never have too much ginger in you. Right, so gingerbread men, okay?
Yeah.
I think they're just a solid gingerbread man.
Just gingerbread man.
I think they'd be better if I could have had the time and not been at the pub watching the England game to actually decorate them and make them look maybe little football kits on them.
I know.
And stuff.
I wasn't sure until I got the affectionate text.
I listen to affectionate text.
You do, but I knew you'd had a couple.
Just a little bit extra. So, profiterole with white chocolate.
Can we share? Because I don't really like white chocolate.
Yeah. Well, you have a big bite.
I'm not going to have a big bite.
You have a little bite.
Yeah, I don't like. Same as last time. You've done really well with the cream. They taste like you've overbaked them slightly this time. Last time they were absolutely spot on. But they're really nice. But you did really well with those profiteroles. They're really yummy.
Just like that. I get what you mean. Just a little bit more bready because they've caught a little bit.
Yeah. Still really good though.
Yeah.
Right, into the cake.
I've got a knife there.
I've got a knife here. Should we use the axe to do it?
Right.
Just cut a small piece out.
It's quite.
I was going to say, that's a very firm.
It's quite heavy. It's quite dense.
I think mine's going to be quite dense. I didn't have the time last night to wait for the cake to cool before I put the icing on. Oh, that is very dense. It's quite compacted. Have a taste. It tastes like chocolate cake. It's very, very dense.
Actually, I've now just decided it's death by chocolate, which is it's a denser chocolate cake, and I went for that on purpose because yeah. So what have you done?
You're not coming. Right. So obviously, I think the first thing we try. I'm going to leave the meringues till last. Like I said, they taste like meringue, but they've got a real chew to them. So I've definitely overbaked them. And there was loads of aspects that I struggled with. Have a cookie. Any cookie will do. They're all basically the same. They just got different coloured icing. It's kind of like a shortbread. Sugar cookie.
Yeah, I love shortbread. And that's just like a sort of sweeter version of it,
Yeah,
isn't it?
pretty much. Not bad, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the snap. I know. Well, when the one of the butterflies broke, I heard the snap, and I was like, "Oh, I still got the snap." Okay.
And the Smarties, I presume you made yourself.
No.
No.
Did you make the chocolate yourself?
Yeah.
You melted the chocolate. You didn't make it.
I made it.
Roll out icing. I made all my icing.
Don't test me.
Right, let's cut
Bear
into
in
this
mind,
cake.
if you win this week, we have to do another week.
Don't.
And do a sudden
No,
death.
no,
And we're
no,
both so done with baking at this point. We've
I
done
know.
so much of
We
it.
have. I don't even know how to cut this.
Well, let me try one of these first.
Oh, I don't know. Give it a go. I think they're a little bit chewy.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how to. Yeah, it's crumbly like a. I think I overbaked them.
It is overdone a bit, but nice.
Yeah? I don't know how to cut this cake. Maybe just go for that corner. I have no idea how to cut it. Okay. I really don't know. There you go. That's the best I can do. I'm struggling to cut that.
That's alright. Oh, wow.
I got some of your chocolate on there. That's not mine.
Just get a close up.
I don't know how. It's still trying to log onto your face.
Back up a little bit.
It's okay. There you go. Have a taste of that then. Little corner. Oh, dropping Smarties. I am not smuggling Smarties. It's a nice cake, isn't it? I was dead proud of that. Dead fluffy and airy. Ooh. More Smarties going everywhere. Nice and airy, isn't it? Nice! I knew there was a reason I loved you. Well, hidden talents, yeah.
I was going to make such an inappropriate joke there, but...
There are kids behind that door, behave yourself. But yeah, I'm sorry, my cake is better than yours. I was worried that it would be dense, but mine is actually a lot fluffier and lighter than yours is.
I hate to say it, but you have done better this week.
Really?
It looks better.
Aww.
The individual elements, like my gingerbread, for example, is just a gingerbread. It's just a solid gingerbread. Profiteroles were better last week, slightly overdone. The cream, though, I'm proud of. The cream's really good.
I mean, it tastes like meringue, but it is just overdone.
I wanted to make more of a ganache or something out of the white chocolate and really try and make them look more like footballs, but to be honest, I felt like crap today and just wanted to get it done.
That meringue's not bad, it is just chewy towards the end.
No, it's great. It's really nice.
It's definitely overbaked.
You've done better there, if I'm being honest, which pains me to say it because
I also did more different things, whereas you've done similar things that you've done before. I'm trying to win, but I don't actually want to do a sudden death bake-off because we've been talking about how we're gonna like execute this. It's gonna be drama.
Yeah, I think if Ash does win this week, then it's a draw and we go to sudden death.
Yeah.
We're going to do it here at the same time. We're just going to set up 3 cameras. The oven will be on and we're both going to bake the same thing.
No. I mean, you've got the second little side oven. I could use that.
I've never used the side oven.
It's just
so
what we
treat yourself. Yeah. So we need to know if Ash is going to win, what are we baking? And it's not showstoppery. It's got to be one solid thing, like when we did pasties or cookies or just a thing.
I think something like pastries, because the lamination, like if we did croissants, because then you've got a load of croissants and the kids love croissants.
That's very true. Well, let us know what you think. Don't forget, when this video comes out, you can vote shortly after, so keep your eye out for the poll on the community tab, because that's the way to do it. I guess there may potentially be one more.
Yes. And a trophy is on its way as well to present to the winner. You've done really great. Even if you win, I'm not salty at all about it. It's been interesting. It's been a real ride, and I'm so proud of you. You've done really well.
Thanks.
Really pushed the boat out, babe.
It's all right. It's such hard work with like do a bit of filming on a Sunday, do a bit of filming on a Monday.
Oh no.
We do this bit on a Tuesday and then I edit it on a Wednesday when the kids go to bed. And it's like potentially 4 nights some weeks.
Yeah,
and I'm so ready
just have breaks
to start doing more adventures and filming them.
But
I was thinking wild swimming down the road in Pickmere.
Oh yes, please. But these poor kids have been like sniffing the cakes all night, desperate for a piece. And they keep saying they're just leaning in to smell it, and it's like,
Yeah, Smarties disappearing.
I know.
So we'll sign off there. We'll feed the little ones, and then we can actually chill on a Tuesday night for the first time.
I know, we'll bake off to watch.
Yeah, nice one. Cheers, guys.
Bye, guys.